Time to eat a good breakfast. Let's see how well you can eat. That's right. Drink your juice a little at a time. Doesn't it taste good? You just never took time before to find how good food can taste. Mother's pleased and proud. We're off to a good start this morning. But will it last? Will you remember to eat the right way? Uh-oh, almost washed your food down. Before you take a drink, chew your food well and swallow it. Now you're eating pretty well. Will you do as well with the bacon and eggs and toast? Chew your toast thoroughly. That's the way. Chew and chew. Doesn't it taste extra good that way? What about that bacon? Well, maybe there are better ways to cut it. But when you eat it in small bits, you can chew it better. It tastes so good, you want to eat every bite. Breakfast is more fun this way, isn't it? Well, Bill, plenty of time to get to school today. And in class, studying seems easier. What? 11 o'clock? Usually you're mighty hungry by this time. Today, you feel fine. Lunchtime is another time to practice good eating habits. Eat slowly and chew thoroughly. Finish all your food. Later on, drink lots of water. After school, that's the idea, Bill. A good snack of crackers and milk at home. That's the good kind of food if you're hungry after school. And then play. Hard play. Plenty of pep now. Yesterday's stomach ache is forgotten. At supper time, you're hungry again. Everything tastes good, and you're eating well. See what good eating habits can do for you? Looking for seconds. After supper, you feel fine. No stomach ache, not too tired, not hungry. Just feeling fine. And that
Let's bring our editorial microscope into focus on a very significant phenomenon, the middle-income consumer. You may have met this character in Fortune's now famous series on the changing American market, which portrayed his dramatic rise into the dominant economic personality of our time. This 1953 study showed that the zoom in the American market after the war, the unprecedented volume of goods of all kinds gobbled up by an insatiable tide of buyers, was largely the work of this middle-income man. Let's update his story its basic facts and figures to the present day. The biggest single fact in the story is this. Despite higher taxes, despite post-war inflation, the middle-income consumer has roughly 50% more spending power today than he had a generation ago. In real income, $240 billion. He has fed new demands into the production apparatus of industry, accounting for the housing boom, appliance sales, the rush for prepared foods, even the once exclusive preserve of the exclusive rich. The luxury market has been invaded in force and virtually captured by the middle-income buyer. And this is only the seagoing phase of a campaign that has succeeded in changing the entire shape of the luxury market. How did it happen? Through a revolutionary change in the way U.S. income is distributed. In 1947, 27% of the population was in the middle income range, earning between $4,000 and $7,500 a year. In all, there were almost 13 million families in this bracket. By 1953, as Fortune told us, 5 million more families moved into this income category. Today, more than 1 million more families have promoted themselves to middle incomes. In terms of dollars, the families in this bracket now receive more than 42% of all income, real income. And their spending is just as real. Food is now a $64.5 billion market, up 8% since 1953. Clothing sales, up 6% from 1953. Housing, for the 7th straight year, the industry has topped 1 million starts. Home goods, furniture, TV, electrical appliances and such, up 15% since 53. The family car, 7.5 million autos bought in 55. So far, demand has matched the incredible pace of American productivity, stride for stride. Let's look at the production story a moment. Over the past century, production per man-hour showed an average increase of 2% per year. These 2 percentage points, compounded annually, doubled production over the last generation, quadrupled it over the last 2 generations. They made America. But see what has happened since 1947. The yearly rate of increase has risen 50%, and the implications of that rise are truly staggering. If sustained, as it seems likely to be, it will remake America. Production per man-hour is slated to...
After another washing and film coating, it goes into another copper bath where the stamping matrix starts to build up. The double disc bubbles in its bath until the tiny electrified particles of copper grow into a hard, strong coating, and the plating is finished. Now the mother matrix and stamper, locked face to face, are separated. From the mother, additional stampers will be made so that many finished records may be pressed at one time. Before the stamper is ready to use, it receives a nickel plating and then another coat, this time of hard gleaming chromium, to give it resistance enough to last through many pressings. The matrix is washed once more, and now with other stampers, it will soon be ready to press the finished records. For still greater strength, the completed matrix is soldered to a rigid backing. For perfect contact with the hot backing, the stamper is heated with flame, protected with a chemically neutral blanket, and pressed evenly into the hot solder. when the gleaming disc is removed from the press, it is ready for the next operation, the centering of the hole around which the finished record will revolve. This delicate mechanism centers the hole with meticulous precision and is checked by magnification. Looking through the magnifier, I saw the rotating grooves of the music itself caught on the record. Carefully, the technician centers the disc, and with the lens, he checks again. With the position of the hole accurately determined, he drills it with infinite accuracy on dead center. Now the stamper is given a last washing so no speck of dust can make even the tiniest mark that would create the smallest false sound. On this revolving cleaning machine, I saw the disc receive its final polishing. But before going to the actual pressing of records, I was shown the mixing of the materials that go into the disc you hear at home, ingredients gathered from the farthest corners of the earth. The materials are processed in one of the largest and most intricate machines I have ever seen, the Banbury mixer. One ingredient is the finest shellac obtainable, which is brought from India. Another resin ingredient is from the East Indies and, like the shellac, is ground into fine powder before mixing. "18 other ingredients gathered from distant places are carefully and accurately weighed in to ensure the most exact proportions to make a correct final mixture. All ingredients are finely ground and put into the mixer to be carefully combined under heat with the powdered shellac, which is sucked into the machine through a vacuum pipe. Now all is ready, and the Banbury mixer rolls. Inside this huge machine, 3 stories tall, the mixture is heated to the melting point, whipped and stirred and beaten until it is thoroughly mixed to a dough-like consistency. The hot mixture falls out on great rollers where it is kneaded and rolled into a long, flat sheet. As it comes out of the machine, circular knives cut it into pieces called biscuits, each the right size to make one record. The biscuits, cooled for easy handling, come off the belt in neat little piles, but before they are used for actual pressing, they must be heated again on steam tables. Then I saw a record pressed. First, steam is shot through the machine. Then cold water runs through to cool the record. Two different stampers are used in the machine at the same time to press the 2 sides of the record simultaneously. The labels are put in before the biscuit, I learned, and actually pressed into the record, not just pasted on. Many presses working at the same time turn out many records together to satisfy the music-hungry thousands. The edge of the record is carefully polished. After this is finished, comes a listening test, when the record is actually played for expert ears. so examined and found flawless, the records are polished and slipped into envelopes ready for packing and shipment. They are counted
oil industry. This Tuesday's daylight is almost gone. Electric power stations are getting ready for the hour of peak load, that sudden increase in the demand for service which comes with the dark. Even though the old oil lamp is a thing of the past, oil still helps light up America. The air travelers from the west have crossed a whole continent since morning. But not for 1 mile or hour were they out of hearing of the men and women in the petroleum industry. Oil and the people who bring it to us are so much a part of our lives that they are everywhere. Our Tuesday is ending and the country goes to bed. But everyone is not asleep. The traffic in front of Ed Felix's isn't very heavy now, but there's still someone on duty to give you service. At the refinery, the night shift has taken over on the stills and fractionating columns. The tanker is plowing on at 16 knots. On the bridge, the mate is checking the course to a port 7,000 miles away. At the well in the Gulf of Mexico, the drilling bit chewing at the rock beneath the bayou is 100 feet closer to oil than it was last night. At the Indian River pumping station, other grades of crude are in the line now, pushing ahead of them the shipment the refinery needs tomorrow morning. It's midnight again. Tuesday has waned and is gone. The pump does not know when midnight comes. Days are the same to it. It pumps from Tuesday into Wednesday without a halt. Each day, every day, it brings us another 24 hours of progress. Building our nation, guarding its security, assuring the future of America.
There was a child went forth every day, and the first object he looked upon, that object he became. And that object became part of him for the day or a certain part of the day, or for many years, or stretching cycles of years. So spoke Walt Whitman.
Splash! Right into the middle of an idea that children are people, and a belief that how they play and stretch those muscles and minds of theirs is of real importance. Here is a camp, a school, a farm, all rolled into one. And it's a brand new world to these children. It has flowers and pigs, sunshine and mud. But best of all, it has room and time to let you find out what it's all about, without being marched in lines and told what you have to do every 5 minutes. If you feel like playing with a kitten, you can probably find a kitten that feels the same way about it. And if you want to pick a rabbit up by his ears, that's a problem that rests between just the two of you and the rabbit. 7 and 6-year-olds, even 3s and 2s, puzzling, wondering, questing, and learning. Now, just offhand, you might say we're smearing paint on some old boxes and bits of wood. And you might also think that all this doesn't matter. But that's where you'd be wrong. Painting is a very serious business. Just the right tone, just the right shade, in just the right place is important. Don't ask us why, but it is. We know. There's work to be done. We're building a wading pool and we need rocks. Big rocks. Whoops, not that big. These construction jobs take a lot of thinking about. No child's play this engineering. No, sir. And there you have it, a pool of perfect bliss. Uh-oh, what's this? Trouble? Yes, I'm afraid we're human, too. Settled for one old spare watering can. As I was saying, a pool of perfect bliss. Did you ever find a good clay, just plain mud, without somebody shouting, "Now don't, no, don't do that." You can make a pie that is a pie. Sand, hands and minds at work. Work that doesn't stop here.